Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. We just had our first this week at Bungie for Destiny 2, and it is absolutely jam-packed full of really useful information for what's to come this month, including some really great confirmations on the name of the raid and the name of the Trials event. Bungie included this image with the post, and I'm really digging it. I hope this is something that will happen every month. I think it's the perfect amount of tease without giving too much away. But anyways, in this video we'll go ahead and break down all of the events that you can expect in the month of September. So let's jump in and break it all down. So of course, this is the image you see before you. We're going to go ahead and take it week by week. So let's go ahead and start with launch week. They show that 9/5 Tuesday is actually the reset for the Nightfall and the Flashpoint. The Nightfall being the arms dealer and the Flashpoint being the European Dead Zone. And then they show the release of the game on Wednesday 9/6. So that way you get a feel for how resets work being every Tuesday if you're not familiar with Destiny 1. And for those of you who are not coming from Destiny 1, resets are essentially a reset on all of the endgame activities every week. That means once you complete an endgame activity this week, it'll reset and you can do it again next week to get more loot. Welcome to the grind, Guardians. But moving on to week 2, we start of course with the reset again. We have the Nightfall being the inverted spire, and that is when we have the Nightfall Guided Games beta beginning. If you want to learn more about why Guided Games is being introduced as a beta first, click on the video down in the description where I go over that in more detail. Aside from that, we have the Flashpoint being on Nessus, and then on Wednesday is the big day for the raid, and we have official confirmation that it's called Leviathan. No big surprises there. And then Friday, we have again another major confirmation, Trials of the Nine beginning. This is going to be the endgame PvP activity, which is going to be happening every Friday. This replaces Trials of the Nine from Destiny 1, and I'm the most curious to see what the different pieces of armor and weapons look like, especially since we haven't seen anything else from this. My guess is that during next week's This Week at Bungie, we might get a bit of a preview of some of the gear that we can earn, I hope. And then on week 2 is going to be a big day where Xur is going to be returning for the first time in Destiny 2 with a selection of exotics. So be sure to save up those legendary shards because that is the currency that he takes in Destiny 2. And also this does confirm that Xur is not going to be there this week. I was excited to stay up all night and try to find him first thing, but I guess we'll have to wait till next week. Then moving on, we have week 3, the usual reset again. We have Nightfall, this time the Exodus Crash Strike, and then we have the Flashpoint on Io. And then of course Friday we have Trials of the Nine and Xur returning as well. This just, I think, reinforces that these are going to be weekly activities. Now week 4, the week of Tuesday the 26th, this is going to be a jam-packed week with a lot of really exciting stuff. First up, we have the Nightfall, which is going to be the Pyramidion, and then we have the Flashpoint on Titan. And then again, we have another beta for Guided Games, this time for the Leviathan raid. And then we have a very curious new addition called Faction Rally. Now, as you might know, if you've played through a good part of the game, you have a good sense that the factions will in fact be returning in Destiny 2. We can see symbols for New Monarchy, Dead Orbit, and FWC throughout the social space, so you know they're still part of the game. And in the beta, we did have a kinetic sidearm that was from FWC, so we know at the very least they will be providing us gear. Now, as far as what the faction rally actually entails, we don't know. It could just be a fancy way of them injecting factions back into the game and having you pick an allegiance. My hope is that it has a bigger significance towards your progression. Maybe you'll be able to have more influence over certain activities. I'm not really sure. Another theory is that this is their realization for what they wanted factions to be in Destiny 1, but it never made the cut. If you go back to really old footage from Destiny 1, you can see that there is something called Faction Wars that used to be in place of the Crucible that did end up becoming the Crucible, and then there were some weird remnants of like faction-sponsored game modes, but it didn't really do anything extra. I don't believe it did. But hopefully this just means it's going to be an injection of content. I think it's nice for them to give us a chance to get acclimated to the new systems. There's a ton of different kinds of reputations already in the game, so it'll be really nice to be able to get more accustomed to the new systems before they throw us even more reputation to earn. If, of course, that's what ends up happening. We still don't know. Not a whole lot of information yet. And then they finally left us with a really nice tease for October. There's a little note in the upper corner which again emphasizes that this is the month 1 of activities, and then they tease that in October, new challenges will come to arrive, including the Iron Banner, and new ways to have your prestige tested in the raid. Now, prestige is bolded, and we know already that there is going to be a prestige difficulty. We already saw some stuff called prestigious gear a while back, although I think that just got renamed to powerful gear. We'll just have to wait and see what ends up happening. My guess is that it's some kind of combination between a 3rd difficulty and possibly the challenges all baked into one. But anyways, let me know what you think Faction Rally is, and what do you think Prestige is? Is it a 3rd difficulty? Is it replacing Heroic difficulty? Is it replacing challenges? All of the above? Let's discuss. So drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for my continued daily Destiny 2 coverage over the coming weeks, and I will see you all next time.